back to Cali, to Cali, to Cali. We're going back to Cali. Huh.
I don't think so.
She's quite the rapper. Hello, welcome to the Nisha Jackson Show.
I'm so good.
Yes, I'm Rusty. We're not the whitest people on the planet at all. No, we are up here at the cross hike, right?
Yep, cross hike. We just finished it. Oh no, we're just starting. We're at the top.
We're at the top.
It's kind of like the reverse.
They'll figure that out later. Now you've ruined the whole show because
this
then
makes the show better.
Yeah, okay, we're letting you in on the secrets.
That's right.
See, we're shooting everything in backwards. Anyway, since we're shooting it in backwards, she already did her thing. It's really good. You don't want to miss it. By the way, make sure you check out nishajackson.com. That's right up there, nishajackson.com or onepeakmedical.com or takebrandex.com.
Yeah. So today we're going to do a show on how to calm your mind. And certainly one of those ways to calm your mind is to get outside and exercise. So when I get to the top of the hill, I'm going to talk to you about 8 or 9, maybe even 10 tips on calming your mind. All right, so here we are. We're at the top of the mountain. Rusty made it up here with me. It's another beautiful day in La Quinta, Palm Desert area. It's like 8:30 in the morning and it's over 80 degrees already. So it's going to be a hot one. And I wanted to talk today about something that seems to be so prevalent with so many people. And that is just feeling this underlying rolling anxiety on a day-to-day basis. There's so much going on in the world and so much going on in people's lives that I thought it would be important to talk about just how to clear your mind. And certainly I wanted to talk about it up here on this hill because getting outside, nature has a way of calming you and decompressing you and getting your thoughts to sort of like come together for you so that you get back to some reality. Being around animals, I talk about that a lot, how important it is to be around animals. Animals are excellent absorbers of your stress, and this little guy has been with me 11 years now, and he's still making it up the hill, so it's good for them too. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, Rusty, was how important it is to stay in your own time zone. I mean, if you think about it, so much of our thoughts aren't in our current time zone. They're either in the past or they're in the future, right? And we're meant to be in our own time zone. So if you find yourself thinking about things in the past, or you're obsessing about something that hasn't even happened, you're not in your right time zone. So sometimes I think it's easy just to say time zone, you know, like when you find your mind racing, just tell yourself time zone, like get into your own time zone. And the other thing that I have heard come up a lot with some of the patients that I've seen in the past, and certainly during my training of other practitioners in our One Peak medical offices and listening to patients, is people being very afraid of anxiety, being very afraid of like a panic attack. And I think it's important to recognize what a panic attack is. I think it's important to recognize when your heart is racing and your jaw is clenched and your muscles are tightening up and you feel like you're going into like anxiety or even low-lying anxiety, just driving your car. Or listening about the upcoming elections or worrying about financial stuff, whatever it is that's putting you into this anxiety, I would just encourage you to recognize that feeling of panic. Because the one thing you have to know about panic attacks is it is the exact opposite of impending death, right? It's the exact opposite. So you're not going to die. And it's your body's way of fighting. So it's this fight or flight response. And a lot of people think they're dying when they're having a panic attack, but it's the exact opposite of dying. So I just want you to just remember that when you're having anxiety or panic, it's the exact opposite of impending death. It's your body's way of fighting to keep you alive. That's the fight or flight response. So sometimes I think it's important to just recognize that. The other thing that I think is important is to recognize your thoughts. And one of the things that you can recognize your thoughts is to fact check them, right? So is it true? Do you know without a shadow of a doubt, is it true? So just those thoughts that are getting kind of carried away, is it 100% true? And so fact check your thoughts is another thing. Obviously, breathing in and out is vitally important. I can't even tell you, Rusty, how many people don't know how to breathe from their belly. I was just telling the guys, you and Michael walking up here today, when you are exercising, breathe from your belly, get some breaths in from the deep part of your lungs, which means your belly has to come out. So a lot of women don't want to do this because it actually protrudes their belly out a little bit, but let it happen. It's natural, and it's the best way to breathe is to bring that oxygen in from the very base of your lungs. And that means don't breathe from your chest, breathe from your belly. And that actually calms the whole stress response down quickly. All right, so the other thing that I think is super cool, I'm sitting here holding dog treats, is to remember the 3-3-3 rule. So if you find you're kind of like, even when you go to bed at night and your heart's racing and your mind's, going away with all these thoughts, and you can't really get yourself under control, remember the 3-3-3 rule. And this works really good during the day. So the first 3 is stop and identify 3 things that you see. If you're outside, recognize that bush right there, recognize that rock right there, recognize that person walking up the hill right there. Just recognize 3 things that are around you. Then move 3 parts of your body. Move your legs, move them up and down, move your arms, move your neck around. And the last thing is recognize 3 things that you're thankful for. This actually stops the stress response. There's actually been studies that have shown the 3-3-3 rule actually works. So just remember that's something you can do to stop an anxiety attack, or just stop a racing mind that is causing you to feel so worried about something that probably hasn't happened. So those are my tips on things that you can do that will calm your mind. Certainly practicing clearing your mind during the day, 10 minutes of just nothing coming into your brain. Stop eating sugar. Sugar causes glucose to be completely unstable. It causes it to rise, then it causes the insulin to rise. You get a feeling of almost depression, and that can make you feel anxious. So just remember that lots of vegetables, lean proteins. Proteins are amino acids that get your brain chemicals to come up, that get you more balanced with your anxiety and reducing depression and the blues. So those are just some things that I want you to keep in mind this next couple of weeks as we go through more things that are happening in our world that is causing anxiety and stress. And just know that you have control over all these things that I told you about today. So stay well, stay strong, and stay calm.
Okay, before you go, I have a question.
Okay.
Because it's giving me stress.
Standing there videotaping me?
That's part of it. No, all these people walking up in 80-degree weather, wearing masks, doing exercise. We've talked about it before, but I want to get that reiterated.
Yeah.
Good idea or bad, and why?
I just told you, Rusty, today, and this certainly is not a very compliant thing to say, but I just have to ask the question. Is some of the anxiety that people are experiencing today because they're breathing so shallow and they're breathing from their chest? I mean, that's a known fact. We know that causes anxiety. And one of the ways that you would do that is wearing a mask. So obviously we have to wear a mask when we're in populated areas. But if you're 6 feet away from somebody and you're in nature, I really don't think you should be wearing a mask. So unless it's mandatory that you're in an area that you have to wear one. So certainly that's something just to think about, is to get some social distancing, but get some fresh oxygen and breathe from your belly, and get that mask off when you can to do some deep cleansing breaths. So I do think that has something to do with people's anxiety is exercising where their heart rate's really high and they're breathing very shallow from their chest. So just know that that's not helping you. You're going to need to get some good oxygenated breaths without your mask on, with some social distancing.
Okay, I'd like to learn a whole bunch more about you and what you do. Is there a website I could go to?
You're so good. So you could go to nishajackson.com. Just launched a new website, and all my blogs are posted there. And so you can go to that website, and I do a lot of private consultations through that site. You can also go to and that's nishajackson.com. You can also go to my medical website, One Peak Medical, that's ONE, peakmedical.com. And brandx.com is a supplement company that produces this incredible drink that helps with energy, immunity, and focus. And I take it wherever I go, especially when I exercise. It's wonderful, and it doesn't hype you up. It helps your immune system, and it gets you to focus, especially when you're trying to exercise at a higher level.
Well, I don't know, Nisha. Would you think I should subscribe to this program and maybe hit the bell to get notifications when the new shows come out?
You know, so many people tell me that they listen to the show and they really like it, and it's interesting information that's easy to digest and mentally digest. But they're not sharing it on their Facebook, or they're not sharing it with their friends. So please do, because this is good information that people should know about. It's simple, it's easy, and it's things that we have control of. So please listen to it and please share it, because it really does help spread the word.
Oh darn, I forgot. What was the website again?
NishaJackson.com.
All right, we'll catch you.
Have a great day.
All right, so here's the difference between me and Nisha hiking. Me, I am scared of every step. Look at this. I'm gonna die because it's all slippery. Ugh. And Nisha is doing, I don't know if you can see her down there, she's doing FaceTime with her mother walking down the same rocks, okay? Yeah, she's a badass. All right, let me try not to kill myself. Bye.